Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. So today's episode is going to be the normal whole house cleanup, but I'm going to talk about getting yourself into more of a routine. Having your days be more regimented. It's something that I personally have been working on. And also, just sticking to a schedule, planning out your days. It'll help you be more productive in the long run. So let's get into it. Do whatever you do that gets you motivated to clean, whether that's opening a window, lighting a candle, or just getting ready for the day, listening to the podcast, whatever it is you do. And then once you're ready to clean and you're ready to go ahead and make your way to the laundry room and do a laundry switch. Put your clothes, if there are any, in the dryer in a laundry basket for after the episode, and then put some clothes in the washer, and they should be ready by the end of the episode to fold. And while you're doing that, the first step in, having a more organized routine is writing it down. And I know I've said this 1,000 times before. It's because it's what works for me. Different things work for different people, but for me, if I write down a schedule the night before and I wake up to a list of things that I have to do that day, I'm way more likely to get them done. So write it down. And it's easy when you first start doing this to be super unrealistic with your goals. When I first started writing down my routine for the day, it was unattainable, because you're like, okay, well, I'd like to get this done, this and this, and then, you don't get anything done because you're overwhelmed. So make realistic goals. Ask yourself what you need to accomplish more of. It doesn't even have to be chores per se. It could be personal time. It could be more time to work on yourself, just relaxation time. Maybe you're not having a set time where you just can breathe and be by yourself. So write those things down. Have two lists, one a to-do list and two a list of things that you haven't been able to get to for yourself that you need to get to. Okay, now moving on, let's go ahead and walk into our kitchen area. I did recently move, but I have a little bit of a different setup, but it's still a pretty small space. So, whenever I'm talking about the steps of cleaning, they may be a little bit different for you. Obviously, everybody's houses are different, so just, implement what I'm saying, but to your house, because everyone's house is different. You all have different priorities, different things. I'm also going to be going back to work soon, so that's why my focus has been on routines, set schedules, writing down lists, because I'm going to have to get a lot more organized. It's easy to get, into a state of disorganization when you're a stay-at-home mom, just because, you don't have to, well, every once in a while you have a doctor's appointment, or, I have deadlines with the podcast and my paintings and stuff, but I don't have a time where I have to get up and take my kids to daycare and to work and stuff. I haven't for a while. So definitely I'm going to have to work on that. And that is why I'm talking about this today. So anyway, walk into your kitchen, start unloading your dishwasher if you have one. I do not. And unload your dish rack if there's any dishes in there. Make sure you put those where they go, and just dive right into it and get started on your dishes. If you're like me, you hate the dishes. I know, I hate them too. But we have to get them done first thing, because once you get those knocked out, it's real easy to knock out the rest of your kitchen. 2, it's something that you should probably try to get done before you get to work or school or whatever it is you do. And 3, it'll make you feel so much better about your house, and you won't have funky, stinky dishes. So start on your dishes, and while you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit more about, my life and getting organized and stuff like that. So while you guys are doing the dishes, when it comes to goal setting, you want to think about and write down maybe what are your larger goals? What is the big thing that you would like to accomplish in the long run? It doesn't have to be like 10 years into the future, but maybe just this week. And then break those down into smaller attainable goals, everyday goals. So, just an example like exercising. I want to be here in my exercise. I want to be able to do this, this, and that. You need to break that into realistic, everyday goals, a set time that you can fully commit to those exercises every day. Things like that. As corny as it sounds, just like running a race, you do a little bit more each day, a little more each day until eventually you're ready to run a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. You work up to things. So the more realistic your everyday goals, definitely think about your bigger goals first and write those down. But the more realistic your everyday goals are, the more likely you are to stick with it. So make sure that they are something that you for sure can fit into your schedule. Now, a big one that I struggle with is distractions. So we all have distractions, especially if you have kids. They are the ultimate distraction, right? So factor that into your schedule, and train yourself not to get off task even when these distractions arise. You just have to really tell yourself, when I'm writing down this schedule, make sure to make it realistic, like I said before, but when you're writing down the schedule, make sure you're telling yourself, no matter what the kids, obviously in an emergency, it's different, but no matter what the kids throw at me today, I'm going to get this done. Because you have to set boundaries with your kids, because otherwise, kids, partners, whoever is in your life, because otherwise you get lost in, everybody else's goals and everybody else's routine, and you find yourself not getting enough done and not accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish in life. So you need to be a little selfish sometimes and just focus on yourself and make sure that we're not letting the distractions of life or the people closest to us get us off task. And account for those things. Some things are undeniably part of our everyday lives, like my 2 small toddlers are definitely going to distract me, and I will account for that. So when I'm writing down my schedule and allowing me certain, set times to do things, I'm not going to give myself 10 minutes to clean my entire kitchen, because I know that my kids are probably going to be asking for 1,000 things. So I'll give myself 25 minutes, stuff like that. I hope I'm making sense. And just be working on your dishes. Go ahead and start, washing your dishes. I like to start with the cups first and utensils, the non-greasy things, and then plates and bowls and stuff like that, and then pans. So another big one is consistency. A lot of this is common sense, but it's stuff that, I don't do. I know I'm supposed to do it, but I just don't do it every day unless I write it down. So consistency is another big one. You want to be consistent in the things you do. Like I've mentioned before, making your bed in the morning. Just routine. That's how you get more done. And don't make it hard on yourself. Don't make it something that you dread. Make it fun. I'll talk about that more in a second, but like just making your bed in the morning, deciding, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to make my bed, make myself a cup of coffee or whatever it is you do, and immediately start getting ready. Because we all, tend to, I know I do, like to lay in bed in the morning when it's time to get up and my alarm's already gone off, and like I spend 2 hours laying in bed. I've gotten up on time. I've already lost the sleep, but I'll sit there and lay in bed and waste all my time. So, you know what I mean? Just little things like that I've changed in my day. Like when I get up, as soon as my alarm goes off, get up, force myself to get up. That's my personal goal, and make my bed. If my kids aren't sleeping all in my bed, in which case make the bed after they wake up. And another big thing I've changed in my life is I've started getting up before they get up, not waiting until they get up just to get the most possible sleep I can possibly have. And I have been getting up before they get up at a set time, and it's really helped my productivity. And I'm kind of training myself for them going to school and daycare and me going to work, because that's going to be going on soon. And you'll be amazed how much more you get done when your kids are still asleep in the morning. Like, I can get ready, I can look nice for once, I can get a head start on cleaning. It has changed my life in a lot of ways, so try it. Highly recommend it. And, personally, I started this about last week, on the trip and stuff, because I had to stay super organized on the Colorado trip. I started getting up a little bit before them just to get ready for the day, because we had to, everyone was meeting for breakfast super early at the campsite, so we had to get up and have the kids and myself look presentable in the morning, because people were coming in and out of the cabins. You know how family reunions go. So I started it over there, honestly. I started being more organized and waking up before them over there, and it still wasn't that much before they woke up. But now, like, the earlier I wake up, the better and the more stuff I accomplish. And I'm finding that I'm going to bed sooner at night, and my sleep schedule is getting back to where it's supposed to be, because I've been so cranky, frustrated. Just, you need to look in yourself and just think, what issues am I having and how can I resolve those issues? So I've been having all these issues that are obviously sleep related. So the solution to my problem was so easy. All I had to do was, get on a schedule, go to sleep a little earlier, wake up a little earlier. If I'm having trouble going to sleep, wake up earlier, get more done. So that's a great way to do it. And keep trucking away on those dishes. Remember, if you have something that's hard to clean out, you can boil it on the stove with a little bit of salt in it to dissolve it. Or you can let it soak for a few minutes while you're doing your other dishes. No judgment if you leave things to soak for longer than they should because you're in a hurry. We all have those days. If your microwave dish needs to be cleaned, maybe do that at this time while you're in dish mode. Also check your refrigerator. Is there anything that needs to be cleaned out? Is there anything any casserole dishes or anything like that need to be disposed of, like the food that needs to be disposed of, and you need to clean that? Check that at this time. If you have other people in your house, if you still have your kids with you, your big kids, maybe have them round up your cups around the house. And any kind of dishes in any rooms if you have that situation. And then just knock those out while you're still in the dishes mode, because I know whenever I quit doing the dishes and then people start bringing me dishes from around the house, I'm like, okay, are you serious? And it makes it a little harder to do them. So just knock it all out in one sitting. And once you are done with your dishes, go ahead and start clearing surfaces. Clear as much surface area as possible. Anything that's not supposed to be out that can be put away or hidden in a place and have a home, do that now. Put everything away where it belongs so you don't regret it later and have a big mess of stuff in your drawers or wherever. We all have some sort of variation of a junk drawer that accumulates stuff, but we don't want just too much stuff, stuffed away, because let me tell you, when it's moving time, I mentioned that I'm in a new place. When it's moving time, You do not want drawers full of junk, closets full of junk. Yeah, it makes it very difficult to move. And a lot of times we get lazy and we just move those things to the new house, and then they have a same home in a closet that never gets touched. Like, there's sentimental items, don't get me wrong. There's things that we keep and we don't look at every day that need to be stored, but not everything is that. So I need to work on being less of a hoarder. Maybe some of you have that same issue, but I got rid of a lot of stuff lately. Okay, so once you're done clearing surfaces, go ahead and do a thorough wipe down. Get your Clorox wipes, your just wet soapy rag, whatever it is you prefer, and just quickly wipe down your kitchen table. Don't forget table legs. This is more if you have children, because they get stuff everywhere. So your chairs, your table legs, your high chairs, make sure you thoroughly clean those because they get real dirty real quickly. All surface area, your faucets, your behind your faucet, windowsills in the bathroom, in the kitchen, accumulate dust. We don't always get to that. Maybe you have too many knickknacks or just miscellaneous things in your windowsill. Have been collecting things there for some reason. You know, I get rid of some hot spots and then accumulate new ones. So take care of that and just wipe down. Get your, refrigerator. If your refrigerator needs to be thoroughly cleaned out and it's gotten bad, this is your sign to clean it out. If your dishes are already done, no judgment if they're not, you can, take some stuff out of your refrigerator, take the drawers physically out and rinse them off in the sink, or just wipe them down. It depends on the severity of how dirty they are, how, not baked on, but stuck on they are, the racks are. So it's really easy to take them out and just like power wash them with your sink, or even outside if they're super bad, whatever you need to do. I do this not super often, like a full deep clean of the fridge, but I would say at least once a month. If you don't have a problem with it getting real bad, do a real deep clean where you take everything out and, thoroughly wash your inside of your fridge. I actually just did this. And I'm just going to throw out a bunch of tips, I'm talking about organization, but I had a thought that's not in the sequence of my organization tips, but I'm going to say it because it's important. While you're wiping down, if you're taking care of yourself and your body, you're more likely to have more energy. And that's something also I've been working on too is, I say I get up and drink a cup of coffee, which I do, and I have not cut that out yet. I had a little one didn't wake up early enough. Hold on, let me get her a bottle. But just write it down next to your schedule. Write down the healthy things that you need to do. Like, for instance, wake up, drink a full glass of water with your coffee. Tell yourself, if I'm going to drink a full glass of coffee, I'm going to drink a full glass of water as well. And, maybe implement some exercises. And it doesn't have to be anything too strenuous. You could just stretch a little bit. Maybe just stretching. Maybe, make it pleasurable for yourself. Not everything on your routine and your to-do list has to be, something you don't want to do. Maybe it could be just walking out on your front porch and drinking your coffee and getting some fresh air, something like that just sets the tone for your day, instead of just like throwing on the TV or chugging your coffee late as you run out the door, because those things are fine, and we all have to do those things sometimes. People run behind. I'm always running behind, but the more we do these things and take care of ourselves, the more we're going to feel better about ourselves, the more we're going to get done, and the healthier we're going to be as people, and the better we're probably going to treat other people. Because I know with me, if I've had a bad, rough morning, Sometimes I'm taking it out on people. In the car, I'm yelling at people, I'm honking, I'm getting road rage. So it really does make a difference. Little thing, little things in your life do make a huge difference. Maybe if you don't usually eat breakfast because you don't usually have time, you're running out the door, maybe you're just not hungry in the morning, maybe tell yourself, or not just tell yourself, write it down, that you're going to eat at least like a piece of toast and avocado or whatever in the morning, and just force yourself to eat that. And then it'll just be a routine, and it'll be something you do regularly, and you'll probably feel better and have more energy, because food is fuel. You know what I mean? So anyway, while we're in our kitchen, I talked about the refrigerator. And if you don't need to do the thing that I'm talking about, or you've already done it, or it's just not an issue for you, then you don't have to do that. You can be working on other things in your kitchen. But for me, I like to, I had just recently cleaned out my fridge, so I thought of that. But also your cabinets, have they gotten out of hand? Do they need to be rearranged? Do they need to be wiped down? Sometimes they accumulate dust in your cabinets too. If it's been a really long time since you've cleaned them, you don't want your, dishes sitting in dust or whatever. So they might need to be dusted. Shelves in your kitchen, pictures, they might need to be dusted. On top of your refrigerator, does anything have a home on top of your refrigerator that needs to be cleaned? Does anything need to be taken care of there? My spice cabinet, I've mentioned this in a past episode, is always getting out of hand. So something that often has to be reorganized, and because I have 1,000 spices. And now that I think of it, I'm putting that in the schedule because I need to consolidate on my spices because they're overtaking my house. A lot of them are needed, but a lot of them are old duplicates, and I need to throw some away. So if you're like me, throw those spices away that you don't need. Just keep the things that you actually use or are going to use. And making a routine, it's just whatever works for you personally. What I do may not work for you, but I'm finding these things are really helping me. The waking up before my kids, the drinking a glass of water in the morning. I'm less cranky than waking up early and going to bed, earlier than with a schedule than I ever was when I was just, whatever happens, happens. Whenever I get my stuff done, I get it done. And I'm getting way more done. I'm getting my paintings done. I'm getting my stuff done. So another important thing I want you guys to remember, and just be cleaning your kitchen while I'm talking, is to make it fun for yourself. Reward yourself. If you've gone a whole week and you've done your morning routine every morning, you've woken up, drank some water, exercised or stretched a little bit, went outside in the morning, maybe it's just going for an early morning walk. Not all of us can do that. I'm just saying whatever works for you. Accomplishing a certain goal day by day, and at the end of the week, reward yourself. Give yourself whatever incentive it is for you that motivates you. And if you accomplish those goals, tell yourself, I'm not going to get such and such or do such and such until I finish this. Like maybe it's having a day where you pamper yourself, or even a couple hours where you relax in the bath with face mask, cucumbers or whatever, and allow a time where someone else has your kids, if you have kids, or if you live alone, just some alone time without work or anything bothering you, and just chill, or relaxing with a good book, or maybe it's getting a fancy dinner or an iced coffee even at the end of the week when you've accomplished your goals. Whatever it is you do that motivates you. Side note, speaking of coffee, everyone that knows me knows that I'm a Starbucks freak. I love Starbucks. I don't know why. I know it's overpriced, but I love it. So I kind of make my own version of my drink, and you guys probably don't care, but I'm going to tell you anyway because it's amazing. I just get like the pre-made iced coffee. It doesn't have to be name brand or anything, just the cheap one. I forget what the brand is, but there's this cheaper brand that I really like. And then I get vanilla creamer and of any kind and a little bit of heavy whipping cream, and I have a magic bullet, and I, frappe it, whatever it's called, in the magic bullet, and it's cold foam. So that's probably not the correct way to make it, but that's how I make it. It ends up frothy and yummy and awesome, and then I put that on my coffee. Some of it sinks in, some of it, the foam part stays on the top, and it's amazing, and it's a lot cheaper than Starbucks. So yeah, like, that's something that makes me more excited to wake up in the morning if I have my special coffee in my fridge, and I make my little cold foam and drink that. And one of my goals is to wash my dishes as I use them, so maybe write that into your schedule so you remember, and you get to mark that off with a Sharpie. Super satisfying. But moving on, let's go ahead and move on to our living areas. Go ahead and get your focal points of the room. Your couch is usually the focal point of your living area. And take those cushions off, vacuum underneath the cushions, or just sweep off if there's just a couple crumbs. I like to vacuum with my hand vacuum under the cushions, on my cushions, around my cushions, underneath my couch. I finally got a new couch that is flush with the floor. Hallelujah. I do not have to deal with that anymore. That was a pain in the rear. So no more random apple cores, whatever my kids threw that day underneath my couch. You're probably like, ew, you're gross. But I clean it. I clean underneath my couch daily, all right? I have kids. But, yeah, I have one flush with the floor now. Somebody gave it to me graciously. So, super thankful for that. But if you don't, and yours is raised, go ahead and clean underneath that, vacuum underneath that, or just sweep, all the toys or whatever it is that went under there out. And you guys are doing so awesome. I'm so proud of you guys for just getting up and cleaning today and motivating yourself. And this podcast itself is a form of a routine. I actually listen to my mom sometimes. I listen to myself sometimes, just because it does really help keep, without tooting my own horn, it does keep you on task, because it is a schedule in a form, a cleaning schedule, because I do a certain time in each room. So if that's what you need for your cleaning, then you could just have the podcast for your cleaning schedule. If you would like me to write out my, timeline of cleaning, I can, and post it. Or you could just listen to the podcast, whatever you prefer. But also make sure that, there's more to life than cleaning. Make sure you're writing down the things that you want to accomplish just personally within yourself also. Once you're done cleaning underneath the couch, fixing your cushions, making everything look nice and pretty, fixing your rug, are there any pictures out of place? Open your windows in your living area if you haven't already, to motivate you. And then pick up anything that does not belong in your outer areas, whether that be toys, whether that be accumulated stuff on your coffee table, inside your end table drawers or coffee table. Do those need to be cleaned? Has your ceiling fan, if you have one, been cleaned in a while? It's probably super dusty and gross. Use that hack where you use a pillowcase to kind of cover the arm of the fan, and then, wipe off the dust into the pillowcase so it doesn't go all over the room, or just use a wet Clorox wipe. Like my mom mentioned in the podcast we did together, I like to use wet rags, or, like a Clorox wipe to dust, especially if something's super dusty, because I don't know, I just find it easier. Some people like to dry dust, I don't. So be working on your living areas while I talk. And I'm just going to say that the thing that motivated me to talk about organization and getting on a schedule lately is because I'm not fully where I want to be yet. I'm just starting to, get a handle on it and start implementing it in my life, because I haven't always been the most organized person when it comes to like scheduling my day. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm good at, coming up with a cleaning plan, not so much a day or life plan. So it's when you do it, when you actually have a plan for your day and your life, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. It's going to make you a healthier person. It's going to make you a happier person. It's going to make you an overall better person. I have so much stress. Like, I am such a stress ball. I have like 3, 4, 5 people in my life that call me a stress ball regularly. And I was thinking, what can I do to change that? Why am I so stressed all the time? And it's because I don't have a schedule. And you know what? I'm suffering from it. My kids are suffering from it. The more scheduled things and activities we have, the more I'm likely to get done. And just, as long as they're realistic, set realistic, attainable goals, one step at a time. And Rome was not built in a day. You do not have to write down this gruesome schedule, that's going to completely overwhelm you and you're just going to quit doing it after one day. Make sure it's realistic. Start small. Don't start with everything you could want to possibly do ever, the first time you write down a schedule. Just start small. And then you can build up to more and more and more things. And a lot of times us busy, whoever is in charge of the household, whoever is listening, we get so busy and there's no time for ourselves. And that's the beauty of making a schedule and being more organized with your time, is that you'll finally have a time allotted that is just for you and just for self-care, whether that be right after the kids are asleep and you get to read a book or, watch Netflix. It doesn't have to, whatever it is that you enjoy personally, or maybe it's just meditating, exercising in the morning before your kids wake up if you have kids, or just before your day, before work. It'll greatly enhance your mood and your productivity, like I said before. Set goals for yourself, like, I'm not going to check my phone first thing in the morning. I'm not going to grab my phone unless you need it for work, obviously. But, I'm not going to grab my phone and start scrolling in the morning, because I've found that personally that makes me procrastinate and I do not get anything done if I do that. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm going to write that in my schedule. Do not pick up your phone until after breakfast or whatever it is, because you just have to find your triggers and the things that you do that waste time, because that's all it is wasting time, scrolling through. Some people like me, a lot of my business stuff is social media, but I don't need to be looking at that first thing in the morning, because let me tell you, once I start looking, it's not just about business. I'm like scrolling through Facebook, oh, this relative's doing this. Oh, let me just dive deep into that for no apparent reason. And then the kids are awake and I've accomplished nothing. Now I'm stressed out. See, it's a downward spiral, and you don't want to stress yourself out like that. You want to do as much as possible to make your life as easier as possible. That's the goal here with organization and schedules and writing stuff down. So quickly, if you need to spot clean your couch or rugs or your carpet, my mom doesn't do it this way. She does it after she vacuums, which I hate it that she does that. I don't know why she does that, but don't tell her I said that. Just kidding, she listens. But I like to spot clean before and then vacuum over it. So if you have any spots or anything, do that now. In your carpet, if you need to wipe down your TV stand, if you have them shelves, if you have them, just wipe down any surfaces, disinfect your doorknobs and things like that. look behind things. Maybe behind your couch, things have gotten behind there. Maybe behind tables, underneath TV stands, underneath, those are just things I'm looking at right now that have places and nooks and crannies that you can hide things in. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about moving on the next Sunday's episode, and we're going to talk about decluttering like old closets and stuff and methods and a way to do that, because I think we're all due for another decluttering episode, because I know that moving into a new place, it wasn't far or anything, but it's still, you notice all of these neglected areas that no one's ever touched, these random closets full of blanket sheets, whatever, half of them are stained. So we're going to go through anyway in that episode, and we're going to dive deep into organizing your house, whether it's getting ready to move or just spring cleaning. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on into our bathrooms now. If you're walking to your bathrooms and you're noticing your baseboards are dusty, you can get those dryer sheets and just clean the top of your baseboards, or a wet wipe, and or fix some pictures in the hallway, whatever it is. And then we're going to nosy our way on into the bathroom. And on the topic of organization, the more organized your stuff is to get ready. I know it's easy to just, especially with women, you have like 15 things you use to do your hair and get ready and whatever, and you're in a hurry and you're getting ready to go to work, so it ends up everywhere. If you just put things away as you use them, let me tell you, makes your life so much easier when you're getting out the door. And then you feel better when you come home and it's not just a disaster with straighteners and makeup all over the floor and clothes and blah, a big hot mess. So, yeah. Maybe write that down in your schedule if that's a problem for you. Put things away as I get ready so that I don't have to do it later. So as we go into the bathroom, take all of your dirty clothes out of there. If you have a dirty clothes hamper in there, move it to the laundry area. If you have any dirty clothes on the floor, also move them to the dirty laundry area to be washed. And then clear surfaces, put everything away where it goes in its rightful place. If you're noticing that your bathroom drawers are getting out of hand, you can either organize them now or wait until later when you have more time to do so. If your bathroom's really dirty, you might not have time this time, but write it down definitely and tell yourself for sure that you are going to do it. So just clear as much surface area as possible. You should only have a few things on your countertop that have permanent homes. Even if you use something every day, just have it close by but hidden or in a drawer. That way it doesn't look cluttery, because, cluttery can give, even though your bathroom may be clean, it can give the illusion of, messiness if it's super cluttery. So once you've cleared all your surface areas, go ahead and get your trusty dusty gloves, your Clorox wipes, and just get in there. And we're going to dive deep into the bathroom. So start with the mirrors, Windex your mirrors, use some paper towels, clean your mirrors off, and then get your sink, your faucet behind your sink, toothpaste splatters, the whole 9 yards. Wipe it super well. Then move on to your toilets. Before you start wiping down, get your toilet bowl cleaner. My mom has turned me on to the pumice stones to really get in there and scrub your toilet really well. They have like a stick to them. I forget where she said she got them, but they're great for scrubbing off those hard water stains or whatever stains underneath the rim that just don't seem to come out when you bleach it. But take your bleach, toilet bleach, and squirt it underneath the rim of your toilet. Let that sit while you wipe down the entire toilet. Wipe the surfaces down first that you touch and disinfect those, and then, do the lids and the other parts. Make sure you're getting on the sides of your toilet, behind the toilet, all of the nooks and crannies, all the dust, all of that stuff, and all around the floor behind the toilet. That's why I like to wear gloves, so I can really get in there and get a really deep clean when I'm doing this. And then once you're done wiping, and if I'm moving too fast, no worries, just go at your own pace, of course, no judgment. Once you're done with that, just really scrub with your toilet brush cleaner the inside of your toilet once it's sat for long enough, and clean that up really well, and then flush it, and then clean off your toilet bowl cleaner, and then put it away. And then if you have a bathroom trash that needs to be taken out, I didn't mention taking out your kitchen trash. So if you do have a bathroom trash that needs to be taken out, you can maybe grab that bag and throw it into your kitchen bag and then throw them away. I mentioned before that I had a big wastebasket in my bathroom with a lid on it because I have kids. And also, I hate those little teeny tiny wastebaskets if you have kids. It's usually not a problem when, it's just me and the babies, but when the big kids are there and everyone's there, a lot of people are throwing stuff in that wastebasket, so it'll overflow like super quickly, and of course kids seem to be blind when they see stuff like that. No offense to my kids, it's all kids, but so we got a bigger one to combat that, and it has a lid on it so it doesn't stink or anything like that, and no puppies can get into it. And before we clean the floor, open up your bathtub. If you are regularly cleaning it with one of those scrub brushes, like I have said, the sponges that have the soap dispensing sponges with the detachable sponge heads, I have one in my restroom, and I scrub my shower as I'm getting out of the shower when I take a shower, just with either soap or water or some kind of bathroom cleaner for soap scum, like scrubbing bubbles or something like that. And so if you're doing that regularly, it's probably not that bad. You probably just need one good bleach. If it's been a while since you've bleached your tub or bathroom, now would be a good time to do that. At this new place, I have a very large shower area, and there's a lot of surface area and stuff that I need to wipe down, so I'm not going to be using the toilet bowl cleaner bleach because it's too expensive and there's too much surface area. I'll probably just use Ajax. When I clean it today, you just dampen everything, sprinkle Ajax, let it sit, and then scrub. And I talk about my sponge that I keep in the restroom a lot because your shower is something that gets neglected a lot, and you take a shower regularly, so that's why I do that, because you remember to do it when you're in the bathroom, you know what I mean? So, and when you're constructing a schedule, since we're on the topic of a bathroom, just be cleaning your bathroom while I'm talking. Think about next time, like if you're not really sure about times and what to put in your schedule, think about, as you're doing it, when you're getting ready, how long is this taking me? How long does it take for me to take a shower, do my hair, do my makeup, get the kids ready and dressed and do their makeup? How long does that take? And really have it down to a science. And that'll make things a lot easier and easier to get out the door. And like I said, I'm preaching to the choir right now. I am going to need this for sure. I'm talking to myself firstly, because I definitely have gotten out of being structured, and I've been a little bit depressed because of it, honestly, because I've been tired and cranky and I haven't been getting stuff done, procrastinating, just because I don't have enough regimen in my day. Even just waking up a little bit earlier has greatly improved my life, and writing stuff down as well has greatly improved my life. So like I said, but the most important part is rewarding yourself, setting realistic goals, attainable goals, making sure there's time in your schedule for you, making sure there's time in your schedule for your kids. And schedules are going to change. They're going to change quickly for a lot of us. A lot of people are going to have kids going to school and things are going to change. Some of you have littles and that's not the case and you're stay-at-home mommies like me. Well, for now. I will be getting a job soon, but I said it before, but I'll say it again. Just think about what is hindering your happiness during the day. What is it that really just gets on your last nerve and stresses you out to no end? What is that one thing that when you're going out the door, you are like, why? Why did I forget to do that? Why? Think in your head and write it down. Think about what is it that takes so much time that shouldn't, and the kids are always interrupting me, and I can't ever do such and such. Make breakfast, get ready, whatever it is. And then plan to get up. Okay, I'm going to get up 30, 45 minutes earlier so that I can do those things before they wake up. That way I'm not stressed out and I'm not taking it out on them, and they'll have a good day. I'll have a good day, because our attitude and how we act in front of our kids highly affects our kids. So I know if I'm in a bad mood, my kids feel it, they sense it, and they start acting up. And, it makes me very sad. So we don't want our kids to pick up that negative, stressful energy. And that is why it's good to figure out what the problem is, what's stressing you out, what's making it hard for you to accomplish things, and then knock it out of the park. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to the bedrooms now quickly. On my Wednesday episodes, I like to talk about cleaning the bedding. If you have already, that's okay. Just do whatever you need to do personally. And, just if you don't, just make your bed, make it look pretty. But if you do, take all your bedding off and put it in a place where it's going to be a priority to wash. So put it in your laundry room right where it's going to be seen, if you have a laundry room or whatever your situation is, your laundry area. And if you haven't vacuumed your mattress in a while, you might want to do that. There's a lot of dead skin cells and nastiness that, comes off of our bodies, even through the sheets. So every once in a while, not super often, you don't have to do it a lot, but I like to vacuum my mattress every once in a good while. So if you haven't done that ever, or you haven't done it recently, definitely do that. So you're not sleeping on a bunch of dead skin cells. Ew. And then pick up everything that doesn't belong in the room. Take your clothes that are dirty and put those in the laundry area. If you have folded clothes in your room, maybe from another day or earlier, or just accumulated clothes somewhere, figure out if they're clean or dirty and then hang them up and put them away accordingly. Don't just leave them there. Is there any hot spots in your room? Maybe a chair that's collecting, a whole wardrobe of clothing that you need to take care of. Look and see if those need to be hung up or what the deal is with those. Put those away. If you have your big kids still, you can tell them to clean their rooms at this time and move their dirty laundry to the laundry room. If it's at all possible to have everyone have their own laundry baskets, so that things don't get mixed up, that's awesome. If not, that's okay if you prefer to wash it all at once. I find it really helps if every family member has their own laundry basket, and then the whole load is pretty much their clothes, especially if you have teenagers or stuff, like bigger kids that, are in charge of stuff. You just say, okay, bring me your laundry basket, and either they can do it or you can do it, and you wash them, dry them, and then you give them back their laundry basket full of clean clothes and tell them, put these away, in your room, fold them, put them away in your room, and everything's all put together, and there's no angry teenage girl asking where her bra is or whatever it is. So I like that for me. Everybody's different, but that for me, that works, having several laundry baskets. And then I have one big bin that's just for, miscellaneous stuff, like me and my babies and my husband's all together. So, but as far as like big kids, I like to separate theirs, and because they're so close in age too, a lot of times they steal each other's clothes and it creates conflict.
So I'm all about problem solving. If you have a problem, there's always a solution, most likely. So, we just got to find that solution. And the solution for them fighting for whose clothes were whose and blah, blah, blah was to give them each laundry baskets. So, and one last thought on organization. Put on the top of your list the things that are undesirable. I'm not talking about like when you first wake up. Obviously, you want to do something pleasurable. When you first wake up, you want to drink your coffee and your water and stretch and exercise and, maybe step outside, take a walk. But I'm talking about like your to-do list, the things that you usually procrastinate on. Do those things first, if at all possible, because if you get discouraged, by the end of your list and you're like, wow, that's the thing I didn't want to do. Okay, I'm going to procrastinate. If you're a procrastinator, do the things that you don't want to do first. Put those on the top of your list. Like, don't just do all the fun tasks first. Like, oh, I am spend some time for myself. Okay, I'm going to do that. Don't do that. Do the things that you need to do first and try not to procrastinate. And it'll help with your procrastination if you set realistic goals, like I said before. The goal is just to be happy, healthy, productive, and I just want everybody to be stress-free. I want everybody to be motivated. I want everyone to feel better about yourselves. Make sure that you're giving enough time for yourself and allotting enough time for your goals. And I hope you guys accomplish so much this week. Thank you so much for listening. And if you don't follow me on Facebook and Instagram, my Instagram is Clean With Me Podcast, and my Facebook is Clean With Me Podcast, and my art page is at Jessica's Custom Work on Facebook and Instagram, all lowercase. And also, if you would like to follow me on Patreon and financially support the podcast, I'll put that link in the bio. And I just put behind the scenes pictures, tidbits about my life, stuff like that. And it helps me to keep putting out content and, make your episodes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so proud of you for staying motivated and finishing an hour of cleaning. I'm sure your house feels so much better. Don't forget to sweep and mop all of your flooring at the end of this episode. Vacuum all of your flooring at the end of this episode, whatever it is you need to do in that area. And also, when you're done with that, fold your laundry. And as always, happy cleaning. Thank you for listening.